Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kelly, and for today's video I thought we would do a video talking about my favorite book series of all time. This series I feel like will never be topped. I don't really want to say never because there's so many books, but this series holds such a special place in my heart and I feel like there's just nothing like it. So I thought we would talk all about the books. I'm going to tell you guys the reading order because this book series is so long. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. But let me tell you guys, I wish this series was longer because I miss these characters so much. You guys already know what the series is by the title. It is the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. So I thought we would talk about the series. I'm going to tell you guys the reading order, and then I thought we could rank the books. I feel like that would be so much fun to do as well. But let's get into the reading order. I feel like some people get confused. It was a little bit confusing to me when I first started because there are two series. So you have the Addicted series, which is following Lily and Lo, and then you have the Calloway Sisters series, which is following her sisters. But I do recommend reading them this way. I don't recommend reading the Addicted series and then reading the Calloway Sisters series or vice versa. I feel like the series, to get the ultimate experience, you should definitely read it in its entirety and you'll never be the same. But yeah, let's get into the reading order. If you don't want to watch this video, you can obviously go check out Krista and Becca Ritchie's website. They have the reading order on there as well. But the first book in the series is Addicted to You. This is following Lily and Lo. Lily is a sex addict and Lo is an alcoholic. And I love them. But yeah, this is the first book. And to be honest, when I first started this series, I started it in December of 2022. And when I was first reading this, I did not think I was going to like it. Just something about the first book, I wasn't really loving it. And it was getting me worried because I already bought like all the books. I was like freaking out that I just spent all this money and I'm not gonna like the rest of the books. But let me tell you guys, if you don't like the series by like the first or even the second book, please keep going. You will not regret it. It just sets up so perfectly for all the other books. And yeah. So yeah, the first book, Addicted to You, Lily and Lo. Lily and Lo are childhood best friends, two lovers. And yeah, they are both trying to overcome their addictions. And then you have Ricochet, the second book, which is Lily and Lo's second book. And then the third book is Addicted for Now, which is also Lily and Lo's book. So the first two books, Addicted to You and Ricochet, are only told from Lily's point of view. And these books are pretty tiny, especially the Ricochet. I think Ricochet is like 250 pages and this one's like 350. So the first two books are not long at all. So yeah, those are only told from Lily's POV. And then the third book, you finally get Lo's point of view, which is so good. I love Lauren Hale so much. He's definitely probably my all-time favorite book boyfriend. I don't think he can ever be topped. Just love it. Love this book. Okay. So after you read the first three books in the Addicted series, you're going to go into the Calloway Sisters books. This is where it can get a little bit confusing, but I promise it's not. So you read Kiss the Sky next, which is Rose and Connor's book. Rose is Lily's sister, and then Connor is her love interest. So the trope in this book is rivals to lovers. Rose and Connor are such a badass couple. Like when I think of a badass couple, I think of Rose and Connor. And don't mind the people on the covers. I didn't get the newer ones that just came out yet because they won't even match with like the pretty Addicted series covers. So I feel like I'm gonna have to buy the whole series again. Don't have the money for that right now, but in the future I probably will get another set of these books because I love them so much, and I obviously will be doing a reread. Also, this whole series just went on to Kindle Unlimited, I feel like a couple months ago. So if you don't want to buy all these books, you can definitely check out Kindle Unlimited if you have a Kindle, and you can read all the books on there. Super fun. So yeah, the next book, Kiss the Sky. And then you go into the next Calloway book, which is Hothouse Flower. This is following Daisy and Reich. Daisy is Lily's younger sister, and we love Reich, we love Reich, we love Daisy. This book is age gap. That is the trope, and I feel like it was done in a pretty good way, so it didn't really bother me. I don't mind the age gap trope as long as it's done right. I feel like this was done right. So yeah, after you read both of those, you are going to go back into the Addicted series. So the next book you're going to go into is Thrive. Thrive is basically what happens in Kiss the Sky and Hothouse Flower, but told in Lily and Lo's point of view. And I feel like a lot of people don't like this book because they say it's like repetitive and boring. And while I can understand that, there is something that happens in this book that I feel like was basically needed to be done in their point of view, if that makes sense. You'll know when you read this book, but this book actually really hurt. Like, I was sobbing my eyes out reading this book. But I can see why people don't really like it. Like I said, it is the stuff that happens in the other book just told from Lilo's point of view. If you don't like Lily and Lo, you've got issues. Okay, let me stop. Next, you're going to go into Addicted After All, which is Lily and Lo's last book. This book is a work of art. This is probably my all-time favorite book ever. I love this book so much. I tabbed the crap out of it. And yeah, it's a masterpiece, a work of art. It's beautiful. It's Lily and Lo's last book, which was so sad because I could read a million books on these characters and never get bored. So yeah, after you finish off the Addicted series, you're going to finish off the Calloway Sisters series with Rose and Connor's last book, Fuel the Fire, and then Reich and Daisy's last book, Long Way Down. This book was actually really long, but it was also I feel like one of the most emotional books in the series. One of the most emotional. This book, a lot happens in it, and it's crazy. So yeah, that is the end of the Calloway series. And then these next two books, I feel like you could read either way, but I'm just going to tell you guys the reading order that I did. So I read Bad Reputation next. This is Willow and Garrison's book. You meet them in, I'm pretty sure it's Addicted After All that you meet these characters, but they finally get their own book. And this is actually 2 books in one. They also sell these 2 like books separately, but I just got the one all in one because I feel like it was just easier to do it that way. But yeah, you meet these 2 characters in Addicted After All, and this is just their story. I'm trying to think of a trope for them. Friends to lovers, question mark, I think. And I would say bad boy, good girl trope as well. And then the last book in the series is Some Kind of Perfect. This is the epilogue novel, and this book has literally everyone's point of view. It has Lily and Lo, oh my god, I can't talk, Reich and Daisy, and Connor and Rose. And this book spans 10 years from when the other books ended. So you get to see them with their kids, and there's just so much that goes on in this book. It is an epilogue novel, so there's not really anything like too big that happens in it. It's just these characters living their day-to-day lives, and this book is amazing. It made me sob my eyes out when I finished. And I have different tabs for different couples. So like pink was Lily and Lo, green was Reich and Daisy, and then blue was Rose and Connor. And this book is like my prized possession. I love it so much. I love these characters so much. So yeah, that is the whole series. Like I said, you could, I've seen people read Some Kind of Perfect and then go into the Bad Rep Duet, but Willow and Garrison, they don't have POVs in this book, but they are mentioned in this book, so I feel like you should definitely read this first, but it doesn't really matter which way you do it. So yeah, that is the reading order. I feel like we should rank these books from my favorite, no, we should do least favorite to my favorite book in the series. So I'm going to take a second, I'm going to put them in my little order over here, and then we'll do my little ranking. Okay guys, I have ranked the books, and I'm not even sure that this is the exact ranking. And none of these books, like even like the one that I put was my least favorite, I didn't hate it. It just wasn't my favorite. I still loved all of these books. Like I don't feel like my lowest rating was probably a 4. a 3.5 or a 3.75. Maybe it was 3.75. It wasn't much lower than a 4-star. I have to go back and look on my Goodreads to make sure, but yeah, none of these books I hated. I really loved all of these books. My favorite series ever. I'm gonna say that because I don't want to hurt these books' feelings, even though these books have no feelings. It's just me being dramatic. Let's just get into the rankings. So my least favorite book in the series is Ricochet. I don't know, not much happened in this book. It was also really tiny and just wasn't my favorite. And then next is Addicted to You. I feel like this book should be ranked higher because this is literally where Lillian Lowe started, and I feel like when I go back to reread the series, this book is going to be super important. But the other books are just so good that this book has to be here. So, like I said, kind of hard, the rankings and stuff. Next, this is where I get still like confused. I'm gonna say The Bad Rep Duet, just because I did not connect to Willow and Garrison the way that I connected to Lillian Lowe, to Reich and Daisy, to Rose and Connor. I still really loved their story, especially Garrison. I love Garrison so much, but yeah, I don't know, I just didn't connect to them as much as the other ones. Next we have Thrive. This book is so important, like I said, but next is this one because it is a repeat of what happened in Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower, just from Lillian Lowe's point of view. But this book makes me emotional even thinking about it, like what happens in this book. Crazy. Next we have Fuel the Fire, which is Rose and Connor's last book. This book kind of bored me a little bit in certain chapters. I don't know. I still really liked it, but just wasn't a favorite of mine. Next we have Long Way Down. I feel like this book is ranked a little bit lower because of the emotional damage that this book put me through. So I'm putting it there. Next we have Addicted for Now. And then we're getting into my top 4. So we have Kiss the Sky, which is Rose and Connor's first book. There's so many good things that happen in this book. This one's probably the most interesting plot-wise of what happens in the series, I feel like. Alright, top 3. This book was so good. Reich and Daisy. Daisy Has My Whole Heart. The Archer is so Daisy coded by Taylor Swift. And then top 2, I feel like these could go either way, but right now this is the order we're leaving it with. Some Kind of Perfect in second place. And then first place has to go to Addicted. After all, this book warms my heart. Lillian Lowe finally getting the happily ever after that they deserve. They went through so much, like, growing and healing, and from where they started to where they are in this book just makes me so emotional even thinking about it. So yeah, this is definitely my first favorite in the series, even though Some Kind of Perfect is right up there with it. But yeah, I don't know what else I can say about this series. I don't really want to spoil anything. Let me know if you guys have read the series or if you plan to. And that's it for today's video, because Oliver's fighting with Mickey from the other side of the door. I love you guys. Let me know what other videos you want to see from me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.